The IRS is ultimately who got her. So, we just had on the show these two IRS agents, these whistleblowers who investigated Hunter Biden. And these guys know the law forward and backward. They know exactly what you can and cannot do when it comes to raising money, wire fraud, all of it. I mean, you do not want to get sideways with IRS agents. And that's ultimately who got her. The feds got her. So they looked into this for a long, long time, got all the records, and ultimately brought her to court. And we don't need to speculate or couch whether she did it because she admitted it. Ultimately, she pleaded guilty. She admitted she never had cancer. The whole thing was a fraud. And she got one of the most remarkable prison sentences for something like this that we've ever seen.
Yeah, she got 5 years in federal prison with no appeal. And it was Special Agent Lee, I'd love to give her a mention, from the IRS, who's amazing, who ended up taking her down, obviously, with the information from Detective Martinez, and then backing that with the information that Nancy had collected and given to the police. Now, the thing about that is it became very personal for these people. So again, you look at a few people, oh, it wasn't a lot of money, and it's like, that's not the point. For Agent Lee, we've all been affected by cancer in some way, whether it's through ourselves or our family and through a loved one or a friend. And so Detective Martinez, it became very personal. How could somebody do this? She could be asking money from my family. And then Special Agent Lee had someone close to her who had cancer. And she was like, how can somebody do this? So I think it was very emotionally driven, which I think is important to point out. But Megyn, you said about her saying that she didn't have cancer. Now this is what I find. So I looked into this really closely, and I played out the statement in the podcast on purpose, the full statement, because I wanted to showcase you exactly what she was like.
This is the statement she made to the court, read by actor Kendall Horn.
Your Honor, there aren't enough words to adequately express how horrific I feel and how sorry I am that this happened. My heart aches every day thinking that I did something that hurt other people. This is the worst thing I've ever done and the worst mistake I could have made. I don't sleep well at night because this haunts me daily.
I was there in the sentencing and I met her, I watched it. And so I worked really closely with the actress Kendall, who I brought on board to try and mimic exactly that. So we had, we were stood in this room recording and I was mimicking her body language. Kendall was copying me because she didn't actually say that she never had cancer. And she
but she pleaded guilty.
Yeah, she pled guilty in the end. Initially, she didn't. Initially, she didn't plead guilty until the very, very end, till she was backed into a corner where she had to, because they had proof, like physical proof, that she didn't have cancer. But again, I find that so interesting. The reason why I bring that up is because I have spoke to her and she thinks that she was victimized and she was targeted by Nancy and Alita.
Oh, my Lord, still? Oh, tell it to your cellmate, okay? The jig is up, Amanda. I hate to tell you, you've been caught. And your guilty plea tells us everything we need to know. So she's off. It is a big sentence, and it's a great sentence. It's a totally appropriate sentence. So the husband gets no charges for the reasons that you mentioned earlier, but they have 2 boys. And what happens now? Like, are they still together? She's in prison until, 27?
Yeah, it's a good point you made, actually, about the sentence. I'd love to bring that up because the recommended sentence was 12 to 18 months. So you can see how hard the judge went on her. 5 years. And that was in a courthouse in San Jose, which I believe, you could probably inform me more, is fairly liberal. So I think it was really unexpected. And I remember sitting in the court and everybody just gasped. But even the prosecutors, because I didn't think they thought that would happen. And I feel like the judge was like, no, I can see through you, and we need to show that this is not acceptable and it's not okay.
And make an example of you.
Yes, and the people that you've hurt, and again, I find the law very interesting because it's very old fashioned in a way. It's very adversarial, where it's about, I don't know, belongings, money, you've stolen my property, this is mine, etc., and less about behavior, which is why it's harder sometimes to convict these crimes. But I thought that was really important to sentence, to show that these things are serious. They might not be your typical thing. And a lot of it is an emotional trauma and damage, but that is as valuable, if not more, than materials. So she did get 5 years in prison. She's actually got a slight early release. I think there's about 10 months off the last time I checked. I presume that's for good behavior. She's been in prison since September of last year, 2022. Megyn, you asked me about the boys. Yes, she's got 2 young boys. They are with her father, their father, Corey. And I believe the parents are, as in Amanda's parents, are also helping look after the children. But then you've also got there's Jessa, who we mentioned, and that was the daughter that's Corey's daughter, and Alita's daughter, who Amanda, they did get custody of for a year, who they called her bonus daughter. Amanda,
so
they have this weird thing for names,
where, miracle baby, bonus daughter.
Miracle baby, bonus daughter. I mean, Amanda's mum referred to herself as goddess. I mean, that,
please,
to me,
she's another questionable character.
Absolutely. So you got to think about these 2 young boys who thought that their mom was dying. I mean, at one point, Jessa.
Right. Thank you for raising that. That's another thing. You feel like, oh my God, she led her own children to believe that their mother had cancer. Do you see those dark spots in the mirror? You want help making them go away? Introducing the Dark Spot Corrector from Genucel, right in time for summer. The Dark Spot Corrector, with not 1 but 3 cutting-edge ingredients, goes to work fast to target sunspots, dark spots, liver spots, even old discoloration, both on your face and your hands. You can now enjoy your summer sun, beach, and barbecues without those spots with Genucel. And thanks to Genucel, you will see results, or you will see your money come back to you, no questions asked. So go to Genucel.com right now. Get your dark spot corrector with the new Genucel most popular package, now featuring summer essentials like the best-selling Ultra Retinol Moisturizer that has a powerful retinol alternative for safe use in the summer sun. Visit Genucel.com/MK60 for these amazing summer essentials and save over 70% off Genucel's most popular package. Free shipping, free returns, and excellent luxury skincare, all at 70% off. Genucel.com/MK60, GENUCEL.com/MK60. All orders include a mystery gift while supplies last. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.